This is what is this? RuneScape Chronicle? RuneScape Chronicle. It's a game. It's a card game. Both RuneScape, the card game. The reason I'm in such disbelief is because RuneScape is the game I played as a kid. It was the MMORPG of the year. It was, well, I don't know about that, but it was the game all my friends played. This is the best, the best thing that ever came out of my childhood, right? Almost, not really, but it was pretty great. And now it's a card game, and I love card games. So this is cool. I like their evolution into new genres like this. And this is actually, so you're thinking, oh, card game, but Hearthstone has already got a stranglehold on that market. That's what I was thinking as well. But this is actually really unique, surprisingly, awesomely, shockingly unique. But it's also very difficult to explain. By the tail end of this, I was only just barely getting what was going on. There's so many cards, so many things going on. And it's very different from everything else. And the practice mode doesn't actually explain it very well. It is in beta, so that's something they can absolutely work on. Is a bit easier of a transition. So where do I even start? Okay, so certain cards have a gold cost. So you can equate that to mana, I suppose. And the way you get that gold or mana, it's not a turn-by-turn basis. It's a card-by-card basis. And what that means is, okay, so it's this card that just popped up, right? I played that card. That card that I just killed is going to give me 8 shield. Now this card is going to give me 1 gold. You can see on the bottom there, it's also going to give me a 2/3 sword. Every attack, as you can see there in that little flame with the 4, that's my attack with the modification from that sword. So I'm going to be doing 4 damage every time I attack. In the top right of every card, you can see their health. In the top left is their attack. Now, they can't use their attack unless they survive one of my attacks. So that's the end of 1 round. Then we go into round 2 out of 5. So you can see it's very, very complicated. It's difficult just to rush everything out. Okay, so into this next round. I have 6 gold right now. That's 6 gold that I collected last round from destroying cards. Now, I can pretty much play any card that has a gold cost. Right, and a gold cost card is a support card, which means I don't actually have to face it or attack it, but rather it's going to help me out on the battlefield. So I was immediately looking for, okay, mana cost, play card, but it's not like that. It's every monster can be played, any monster, but you want to use it effectively, which I'll get into in a minute, while using your support card with the gold you've collected. So, gold, there's no mana barrier. It's a gold barrier to play a certain kind of card, if that makes sense. It's very confusing, especially coming from something like Hearthstone, which is much more streamlined. It's a little bit more out there, but that's also really great. So, as you see, just to recap, I have 2 attack right now. This is going to take 2 separate hits to take down. It's going to do 1 damage to me each time, or just the first time, rather. So, 1 damage to me, and then I destroy it, and then I get that 4 armor that dropped off of it. Going to the next one, same story. I still only have 2 attack. How do you get more attack? Just like the gold and the armor and the weapon, some units will drop it. You can also get attack modifications from certain sources. Okay, it's so complicated. Like I said, the practice mode really doesn't cover this very well, and that's not even getting to macro strategies. Okay, so how do you win the game? All right, so that's something they didn't even explain at the beginning. Okay, so as you can see at the top there, my opponent has 2 attack, 0 gold, 19 HP. So if I'm trying to reduce their HP as low as possible, or I'm trying to reduce all of their stats as low as possible, but HP being the one that wins the game. If they have lower other stats, it's going to make their HP go down lower at the very end when there's a combat scenario, which I can get into in a moment. Basically, I'm trying to out macro my opponent. I'm trying to make each turn as good as possible while making sure theirs are as bad as possible. So when the final battle comes around, I will win it. And if I win the battle, I win the game. Okay, so this is a support spell that usually costs gold. Right now it costs 0 because the actual cost is to spend 2 of my armor, I believe. Yes, and then I get to deal 4 damage to my opponent on the other side that is running parallel to me. So they're playing all their cards at the same, well, we both play all of our cards at the same time, and then both of our characters go through the sequence at the same time as well. And as you notice there, he didn't actually have to play a card. So if you don't want to play a card, you don't have to. So that can be a very tactical, strategical, whatever move to make. Okay. Yeah, and right now this is just a practice bot, but there is live players you can play against. So I'm going for a macro strategy right here. So he has 10 HP, and I have these 2 potions and a big monster. What I want to do is use these potions and this dragon to try and get rid of that 10 HP, so I don't even have to go to the battle. But as we see here, he's actually going to gain 8 armor, and he's going to survive my attempt to kill him. So this is gain health equal to my armor, so it's just a complete buff, right? Similar to it's somewhat similar, but this potion is going to reduce the attack of the next monster. So it's a support card. I had to pay gold to use it, but I get a big bonus. So like this dragon, right? He has 2 attack and 13 health. I need to do 13 health, so it's gonna take 1. It's gonna take 2, and then it's gonna take 3. All in all, I took what, 4 damage or so, or something like that. But I went and did 10 damage to him, so that was a really, really big hit. And if he had actually been a little bit lower, I may have even been able to KO him right there. So now I'm just going through these cards that I played and defeating them and trying to gain as much of an advantage as I possibly can. And also something you'll note if you played RuneScape is that a lot of these things are familiar. Probably almost all of it is completely familiar. Like I in particular remember those potions, right? And those potions are something, you use a lot when you PvP or anything like that. So it's cool to see like this like great, like, it's like what Blizzard's doing with their Hearthstone, right? So they take the Blizzard license and then they transition it. So RuneScape is sort of like a BT, it's like a BT Blizzard kind of. All they need is like their own MOBA and everything. But so this game is really cool. This game is really, really cool. And don't be fooled. I believe this is just on low settings, just to get the maximum amount of frame rate and everything, because I can't stand low frame rates right now. It really makes me nauseated. But anyway, it does look a little bit better if you turn the settings out. But I don't believe it changes the animation problem, which is it's very sparse, and like you see there's like a PNG of a creature. That's kind of disappointing. I don't know if that's gonna be changed. This is just, if it was alpha, I would say totally like, oh yeah, there's totally gonna change. It's gonna look so great, but because it's in beta, I'm not so sure, and that does kind of irk me. It just tells me that the production quality is very high when it actually is incredibly high. So here's the final battle. Now we just duke it out. He has 3 attack, 4 health, 1 armor, and I beat him with my 3 attack, 9 health, and whatever armor. Excuse me. That was such a compact explanation for all that stuff. So like I said, there's lots of micro strategies, lots of micro strategies. It's incredibly fast paced. This was what, 8 minutes, and we went through 5 rounds of playing 4 cards each turn. It's really fast paced. And there's not like, oh, I have to click. No, you just kind of, you think about your macro strategy in your hand, and then you play it. So you got the story here, right? I think I take a second look at it in a minute, so I can just cover that then. So you've got, what do we got? Collection. So we're going to look through our cards. I believe there's 342 cards. That probably includes neutrals. And you have all these different deck archetypes. So you have Ariana, which I think is a mage. Raptor, which is the tanky kind of warrior. You have a rogue. And a blacksmith. It was a blacksmith. So they're all going to have their different kinds of things. So like you can see here, oh yeah, there's also a vampire. And they're all going to have their own card sets, along with the neutral cards. And their own play style. So like the guy I was playing is going to be more like very armor-based, health-based, attack-based, whereas a mage is probably going to be more like attacking from afar. But when they get to the final combat situation, if they haven't won by that point, they probably lose, is what I'm guessing. So this dungeoneering, it's just a draft mode that you've seen from like Hearthstone or whatever, where you draft a deck and then you play it against other players. And I'm sure there's all kinds of rewards and everything. So this is back to the shop. You have your typical, like, I just go right about it. You got your booster packs, you got all that. You got all these different deck archetypes. I'm pretty sure you can create your own. Yeah, you can definitely build your own deck. And then I'm sure there's going to be new kinds in the future. This is a really great game. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because the animation irks me. But otherwise, it's a really fantastic card game that's not like Hearthstone. Not like Hearthstone, but still really great. Thanks for watching.